Welcome back. Time now for the business day. 2024, a year when much attention was placed on Jamaica's economy. Weather-related events, cost of living, you name it, several elements played a role. Deidre Thomas has the 2024 Economic Review.
2024 has been a year when the Jamaican economy has been sputtering along. From the passage of Hurricane Beryl to the ripple effects of rising inflation, businesses and livelihoods have faced several challenges impeding national growth. However, economist Keenan Faulkner says while growth has been minimal, the economy is far more stable than it was 5 years ago.
We have entrenched stability to the point where all our most macroeconomic indicators are trending in the right direction. So unemployment is the lowest it's ever been. Inflation pressures have moderated. Interest rates are going back down, and debt to GDP is still on a downward trajectory.
In its latest data, the Statistical Institute of Jamaica pointed to a decline in GDP by 3.5% in the third quarter of 2024, and projections from the Planning Institute of Jamaica show that for the financial year which ending March, GDP could fall within the range of negative 1.5% to no growth. This has sparked debate over whether Jamaica is heading for a recession, given 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth. We put the issue to economist Dr. Damian King.
It's not that important whether we go through a temporary recession. What's important is that our long-term prospects for improving the standard of living in Jamaica are good. But there are things to worry about. That's why I say it's not a prediction. It tells you the state of the economy now, but there are risks and uncertainties and dangers that abound that can become obstacles to us realizing the benefits of the improved economic environment.
He highlighted at least 3 of these major risk factors.
One, as is always the case, is the state of crime and violence. I said earlier that people feel a confidence to invest when they feel they're going to reap the rewards of their investment. But crime and violence impinges on that. That if you are going to be unsure whether somebody's going to break into your shop and steal all your things, or pray their larceny, you don't get the return on your investment. Worse if you think your personal security is threatened.
The second factor, international trade.
The open and free movement and cheap movement of global trade that we had up until a few years ago is in retreat. We have a handful of wars having broken out, and that inhibits global trade. We have countries that are now more in a competitive rather than a cooperative mindset in terms of international trade.
And the third,
the incoming US administration has made clear intentions to retreat from global trade. And that by itself is going to have an impact on global trade, not only because they are an important trading partner, but because it might lead to retaliatory tariffs and closures in other big economies. And that could have a big impact on Jamaica's prospects.
So looking ahead, what needs to be done? PSOJ President Metri Siago weighed in.
I am very bullish on Jamaica and want everybody else to really see the opportunities that exist for us. I think that we are really poised for greatness. And if we can get our economy to grow by encouraging exports and encouraging investment from large manufacturing, high value-added manufacturing companies into Jamaica, I think we'll see our economy grow and the lives of people improve significantly.
For Dr. King and Mr. Faulkner,
we need to keep holding our politicians to account in terms of having an eye out for an intolerance of corruption and to maintaining a good, sound policy framework and fiscal management.
I think we now have to focus more on deriving higher value-added industries because we have laid the foundation for stability. We have reduced debt in a way that opens up more fiscal space for other growth-inducing initiatives like in terms of capital expenditure and infrastructure development.
Deidre Thomas, TVJ News.
The lab has reported a net profit of $82.9 million for the year which ended October 31, 2024, representing a significant 44.7% increase over the corresponding period last year. This growth highlights the company's strategic focus on its agency segment, which played a pivotal role in driving profitability by continuing to build and strengthen brands. Total revenue for the period stood at $958.1 million, reflecting a 14.8% decline compared to the previous year. The company attributed this decline primarily to a reduction in media revenue, which impacted overall performance. Despite this, the agency segment demonstrated exceptional results, outperforming the comparable period and contributed positively to the company's profitability. Revenue was derived from the lab's three core business lines. Media accounted for $492.7 million, production contributed $249 million, and agency revenue totaled $216.4 million. While media experienced a downturn, the combined performance of production and agency showcased the resilience and adaptability of the company's operations. Banks and cambios are selling the American dollar for an average $156.51. The Canadian dollar is being sold for $109.07. $194.13 is the average value of the pound, while the euro will go for $161.47. The JSE index advanced by 331 points today, while the junior market increased by 8 points. Among the 51 winners were Epley Caribbean Property Fund, Jetcon Corporation, Caribbean Cream, Cargo Handlers, and Blue Power. The 51 losers were led by Mayberry Group, Pulse Investments, Caribbean Flavors and Fragrances, Edufocal, and Image Plus Consultants. 14 stocks closed the session, selling at the same price they started trading. And that's the Business Day. International news next.